success begin with an idea or with an environment that knows how to turn an idea into a reality? From Copenhagen until we reach the heart of Cairo. Welcome to CrossWorkers.
My name is Henrik. I'm Danish, and sometimes I'm also partly Egyptian after 16 years in the country running businesses within the IT business. I have a fairly diverse background, both within marketing, within production, within IT, human resources, and so forth. And therefore, it provides a good background for running a company like CrossWorkers.
What inspired you to start CrossWorkers in Egypt, and why Egypt specifically?
The reason for choosing Egypt and the background for starting up the company is that before I started CrossWorkers, I was working as an HR director in a Danish IT company. One of the things that we did there was we started up operations in Ukraine and in Pakistan, utilizing talent from other countries, doing business across borders. When I had the opportunity to start up CrossWorkers, of course I looked towards Ukraine, Pakistan, which I knew, but quite fast I decided not to go there. Then I started searching, and the criteria for choosing Egypt was basically the time zones that aligns very well with Europe, and of course also the proximity. And then all the other factors which is important, the access to talent, cost level, cultural understanding, and cultural readiness.
What differentiates CrossWorkers from competitors in the IT outsourcing industry?
I think the biggest advantage is for CrossWorkers that we fully understand how things work, how the market works, and so forth. But we also have a very, very good understanding in Egypt, and that provides us with solid ground, both for operating in Egypt, selling our services in Europe, and that just creates a huge advantage. Another thing is, of course, that there are not that many European companies working in Egypt with the services that we have. So we're pretty much alone here when it comes to the kind of services that we're providing and the quality that we put into the matter. And when you look at the candidates in Egypt, we benefit from coming with a background, my own background within the HR, but the whole business culture and work culture in Europe. And we're basically also reflecting that into our operation here, work environment, compared to some of the other competitors that we have in Egypt when it comes to candidates.
What is your vision for CrossWorkers in the global market?
I think that we will keep on building on foundation that we have a really, really good delivery organization. We have our processes in place. We know how to deal with especially the European market. We have a natural understanding of the GCC market as well. And we will focus on those two markets because that is the most important, all of these things, which provides us with extra abilities to actually deliver to those areas.
What qualities do you value most when selecting potential employees?
I used to be an HR manager. I've had so many job interviews. I've hired so many people. Hire for the attitude, and we train for the skills if needed, because it's more important to have a personality, a person we can build on and we can invest in. They can invest in us, and thereby creating an employee which really benefits our customers.
Can you share a standout success story from the company's journey?
Telling a story about success and how we run things. The whole situation with the COVID, nobody had expected it, nobody knew how to handle it, especially not management-wise. We, a company, I was in Denmark, the organization was here, doing something rather exceptionally, turning around the whole organization, getting people to work from home, because we were used to working online. And that just proves also the strength of the organization that we've built.
What key challenges do you foresee in the industry, and how is CrossWorkers preparing to address them?
Well, there's always challenges when you're working, doing business, especially when you're working across borders, across cultures, and all these things. I think one of the challenges within the IT, outstaffing, outsourcing, nearshoring industry, whatever we should call it, the legislation, especially around GDPR, data protection, data import, export, and so forth, has become so strong that it really demands somebody who knows what it's all about. That's perhaps also one of our strengths, because we've kind of grown up with, but for local companies who does not maybe have the full understanding of European legislation and the policies on these things, it can really be difficult. I think the industry as such will keep on growing also in the future. In that sense, I see lots of potential within the IT industry, but I also see potential in other areas. It could be marketing resources, sales resources, it could be BPO services in terms of finance or the like. So there's lots of ways the whole engineering disciplines could be attractive as well. We're just sticking quite a lot of core business, which is IT. That's where we're really good. That's always a good starting point to stick with something where you're actually providing and delivering on.